Hey, this is Notser, and today we're taking a look at a pretty cool game. We're in the Tier 4 Dutch cruiser, Ruyter. If you're curious on how I have this before the full release of the line, I am a Amazon Prime Gaming subscriber, and this is one of the perks of Prime Gaming. You get early access to the Tier 4, and you can obviously earn XP that will then unlock the Tier 5, and then whenever they do the early access, you might even, get some more of the Dutch cruisers. This game, though, it's a great game, and it's worthy of being shared. It's a double CV game, and hopefully we can find some success in it. Obviously, we're low tier, so the build and the modules, they're not really critical in forming the identity. We just take main armament protection and propulsion protection. For the commander, incoming fire alert. I love this skill for dodging. Improved AA, it's a cruiser, I feel strongly in this, superintendent, and concealment. And that's quite literally all the skills that we have because Dutch Commander. That's another added benefit of having early access to this through the Amazon Prime Gaming subscription. I can work on Dutch Commanders so that whenever the line fully is released, I don't have, 3-point commanders or at best maybe a 10-point commander from some early access benefit. So it's fun, and these guys are fun. So the Dutch cruisers will eventually specialize in large gun caliber. They will have a new unique armament that calls in aircraft to drop high explosive bombs in sort of a general area. It's really designed to counter any camp play that might occur. That unique armament does not become available until at least Tier 6 for the Dutch. At this tier, obviously, we're just learning how to play them. And it's an interesting experience because it's a Tier 4, it has 150mm guns. There's a lot of light cruisers at this tier. If you're given a nice broadside opportunity at a decent range, maybe the Phoenix or an opposing Ruyter, you can actually pin pretty nicely with AP, and you'll notice I'll switch to it, hoping to punish the Phoenix. And that's what the Dutch are supposed to be able to do. They're a cruiser line that you will end up using AP more frequently than others because the AP is actually legit. Eventually, you get sort of a super cruiser vibe as you move up the tier line. But at this tier, it's just a simple 150mm on 4 gun turrets. We can equip Hydro, which is a nice trait. And we can absolutely punish this guy's broadside, and this is a bot for sure. But we need to draw on our shots and make sure we don't overlead. And can we actually Citadel? There we go. I really love that they added the little Citadel explosion animation. It really is a very punchy, satisfying response to getting a nice Citadel. And more likely to have that at higher tier, but just random comment. Obviously, this bot, he's headed towards our base, and we're just going to try and kill him off. And bots are weird. I don't know why bots want to charge forward and die. It doesn't seem like a good play. And just as fast as these bots are trying to kill themselves, my team is actually successfully killing themselves. And I'm feeling a little concerned. We're probably going to fall behind on the damage requirement. But we just have to keep the guns going. Pretty decent reload, honestly. If you notice, the reload's about 9 seconds, give or take, which is really nice. If you could completely envision a commander build that had faster main battery, and oh god, point blank, faster main battery gun reload, so you can swap between the ammos. It's really nice for any cruiser that would potentially use AP, like American cruisers or German cruisers or Dutch cruisers, or I guess Soviet cruisers as well. But having that gun feeder will absolutely be beneficial, and it could even be beneficial down here at this tier, but not really necessary. And ooh, friendly aircraft carrier gets 2 torpedoes on him. I decide, ooh, we actually got a fire, so would the fire stick? Check the top right hand corner of the screen. Yes, the fire is sticking, and we actually kill him. Cool. But I end up activating Hydro to protect myself from torpedoes. Man, everyone on my team is just trying to kill themselves. And I'm going, wow, this game happened so fast. Where did it go? It's been 5 minutes and we've lost 70% of our team. That's pretty much random battle for you. And yep, here we go, Hydro. And that's a decent Hydro. This is a tier 4 ship, and the Hydro gives you pretty decent range. I don't know if it's on the same level as the German Hydro, but it definitely is useful, very useful. And again, more torpedoes. We're just gonna do a little stop-start to avoid it. But obviously, aircraft carrier spots enemy DDs, and we need to try and get these guys out of the game fast because they have a huge DD advantage. And yes, good, clean, accurate shells. Definitely impressed by Ruyter. I can't really share my impression on other Dutch ships because I'm a CC, but you can imagine that this is more in line with how they play. That nice, clean, accurate shell. Seems like the gun velocity's in the ballpark of the Germans, which is nice. It's kind of, you know, universal jack of all trade, where it can deal with targets near and far. Clearly, we could easily deal with them, and we've actually mopped up a good bit of the enemy that was over by our base. There's only one more enemy DD, which we can clearly see on our screen, and I'm doing some damage to him, or at least attempting to. Enemy is pushing rapidly through the south, and we unfortunately run into a cruiser out in the open, and enemy Phoenix very low. So in this situation, I was like, do we want to show a ton of side to the Phoenix, or do we want to show a ton of side to the Ruyter? Now, I decide to show a lot of side to the cruiser, and the reason being is he doesn't have the damage output to punish us as hard as a battleship or maybe a higher tier cruiser with AP. So turning in front of his face is the best possible thing you can do if that means it's going to give me a better positional advantage. Yeah, we don't have heal, but we can stay back and we can use our guns because they do have good range and good velocity to chip away at him and dodge every so often. That's why incoming fire alert is so great. It's honestly an even better skill at low tier because you don't have heal. So making full use of incoming, it's as good as having heal. And we're able to finish off the Phoenix with the help from the aircraft carriers. Unfortunately for the friendly, ooh, nice. Klaus Horn, Sully, right? I think he's Sully. He was able to land those torps and take out the enemy Ruyter. Notice the attack rockets. They are such a weak tool compared to what they used to be. I doubt very seriously that this aircraft carrier will be able to stop this DD from killing him from 100 to 0. It's really that bad. So the fact that he's still spotted, I'm thankful so I can fire on him. And we're leading him. He is adjusting his speed in response to the torpedo, so of course we draw on the shot, which is right on target and very nice, very usable shell velocity. I actually really enjoy the Dutch experience. I'm curious to see more of them, and yeah, nice. We're doing good damage, but he is just sailing right up to this guy. Most likely, he will have torpedoes that he will use for the aircraft carrier. I use Hydro just as a caution. It's not really a threat. Since it is so low tier, there's really no chance that he could get torps out to me. But in the moment, I was just attempting to do everything that I think I can do to make sure that I don't get wiped out by a random stray torpedo. You know, that would be bad for my team, because if it's not for me trying to keep us in this game, I think we lose this game very easily. And enemy aircraft carriers we definitely have to deal with. He's overhead. I figure he's so far overhead that I don't really have time to activate priority targets, so I'm going to priority sector. I'm going to wait for him to commit, and we are so thankful that the aircraft carrier is keeping this DD spotted. The aircraft carrier is not doing any damage to him, but he's keeping him spotted so we can nearly kill him. And if we do kill him, this would end up being our 5th kill of the game. Yes, and we get Kraken unleashed. This was not a game that we were supposed to win. This was a game that very nearly was over in the first 5 minutes. But with the help of the aircraft carriers and the situation, and honestly, Ruyter, the ship itself, we were able to bring this back. Now there's just 2 aircraft carriers. The friendly Klaus, who landed that torpedo, is attempting to capture. We'll see if he is successful. I'm just going to sail straight towards the enemy. And let's talk about the Dutch cruisers for a second. So the Dutch cruisers, early access, next patch. The Dutch cruisers are going to specialize in damage output with AP and large gun caliber for their tier. They're not going to be technically classified as super cruisers because super cruiser is just a label that we give it. And angling for the aircraft carrier, best thing that you can do is stay perpendicular whenever they want your broadside, and if they want to go at you straight on with a dive bomber, then you go broadside and you go parallel to them. And he's the Ryan is trying to attempt an AP here, but obviously angling towards him. A little tip to improve the angle in a short time is to cut the throttle of your ship, and what it will do is it will tighten that turn. It's a great technique to dodge shells. It's really useful for adjusting so that an AP rocket can't punish your broadside, which we did. You notice that whenever he actually attacked with his AP rocket, it pretty much bounced off and did no damage, and that's because we did not give him, at the moment of contact, a broad enough armor for him to pin. So we're obviously going to sail towards the enemy. You'll notice that we actually have scout aircraft, which is very useful. We already have really good range at about 14 kilometers. With the scout aircraft, I could very easily engage this aircraft carrier over this island. The gun velocity, as I said before, it's somewhere around the German gun velocity. It's more universal. It's not, incredibly high gun velocity like the French or the Soviets, but it's not as bad as the Americans or the Brits. So it's German, Japanese cruiser velocity, and clearly we can pretty much engage anyone on the map at this tier. It's hopefully going to be a good sign for things to come with the Dutch cruiser line, which I'm very excited for. I think that at least the super cruiser playstyle or trait, I've always wanted a super cruiser that was tier 10 that wasn't a Stalingrad. And I felt like there was plenty of ways to have that as a regular line, but they just never found a way to introduce it. Hopefully the Dutch cruisers are a way for super cruisers to participate in, like tier 8 and tier 10 competitive, because this was really fun for me. We got a broadside, so we're going to switch to AP. I was interested in damaging the Langley, so we are going to fire at him. Because the velocity's good, I draw on the shot. It's an aircraft carrier at tier 4. They literally have like 15 knots worth of speed. We actually get a Citadel, but only one, so we don't take him out. I'm attempting to finish him off, of course. And it looks like the shells are just going to bounce. Yep, bounce harmlessly. Need to lower the shells just a little bit. I think we're still too high. Oh, nope. Right on target, actually. Get the next Citadel. Very easily to get Citadels with these at this tier. If you were in a worse matchup, whether you're bottom tier or, if you get a tier 5 as this unlocks and you get in a tier 7 match, you might have to consider firing HE in situations that are broadside because you won't have enough pin. But at equal tier, it does seem like their AP stands out compared to others in this bracket. And we are, of course, getting attacked by the attack torpedo squadron. So we're just going to try and angle against it. 4 Citadels and knocked out that aircraft carrier. And that was 7-kill game at tier 4. Very surprised by the success that we got in this game. But you know what? I enjoyed it immensely. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like. If you dislike, dislike. You could also subscribe to my channel. We do World of Warship content. And yeah, nice base XP. My North American recruit invite is on the screen. You can take advantage of that. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day.